Hi everyone, my name's Steph Aldridge and I work for the Cybersecurity Challenge UK. They were set up in 2010 by a woman who had been in the States, and SANS, a massive global training company, had said to them, so what's the pipeline for the industry in the UK? And she said, actually, I don't know. She came back, they did some research, they revealed a white paper, and at that point she decided she was going to set up a website with some support from the Cabinet Office and all the right big guys, and we put some competitions online that attracts the kind of element that ends up in cybersecurity. So we've got some numbers for cybersecurity. Since 2010, we've had more than 2,500 candidates registered to play our virtual online games. We've had over 20,000, but because we're in cyber and it's the right thing to do, we've recently cleaned the database. Part of that cleansing of the database has been the fact that we launched here actually at BCS in September last year a play-on-demand system and an immersive gaming system that is linked specifically to cybersecurity. It's the first of its kind. How we engage with just about anybody that comes into contact with us is by you finding our website and registering to play the games. Off the back of that, you'll be sectioned into all sorts of different newsletters and you'll receive updates about the industry. We opened a schools program 2.5 years ago now. We did have 800 schools sign up. We're currently down at 450, but that again is due to a clean of a database. We have over 75 industry sponsors who help us write our games. And we have over 30 different challenge events and competitions that we run throughout the year. We're quite a small team. I have tried to regionalise some of our events, and people think we're massive. I think we have a core of about 6 people, and 4 of those are admin. I'm one of those people. So the view I have today is really from the grassroots coming up. When I landed in the challenge sort of 4.5, 5 years ago, I had come from Twickenham Stadium. I'd helped the head chef run his kitchen, had done for nearly 7 years. And the word pen tester was used a lot in my first few meetings. And to me, that just kind of meant somebody at the end of a manufacturing line testing out the pens, scribbling on a piece of paper, making sure the clicker worked and chucked it in the works box. You know, it's done. That's what I thought a pen tester was. I have come in at the industry from just about the place that most people will be invited in at some point. So last year I said to my boss, I'm really interested in this education piece that you want to run. This education piece you want to run at Bletchley. I'd really like to do that. So I've got half my feet in the National Museum of Computing. I can't quite talk about everything that we're doing there at the moment, and that I think that's pretty apt considering it's Bletchley. But what I can say is that we're developing a qualification through the city and guilds, and actually if you keep an eye on our website tomorrow, we're launching it for real through journalists and all sorts of bits and pieces tomorrow. The other piece of my work, which is really, I've formed my own job within Cybersecurity Challenge because it's a small company. They took me on to help run events, and actually I do much more than that. Sorry, can everyone hear me? I'm pretty loud anyway, I'm sure of that. So I run one of the competitions that Cybersecurity has, called Cyber Centurion. It's a competition for 12 to 18-year-olds. They play virtual rounds over 3 separate months. They pick a day of a weekend, and then we have a finals. We had our finals this week at Bletchley Park, and I'll talk a little bit more about the diversity piece that I managed to engage with there that week. So what I think I do, I've been invited to lots of industry events. I come here for an event, a meeting that's run by IAC. It's an academic liaison partnership. So I've had access into different universities. I've sat around tables with lots of very, very clever people who are pushing this agenda at PhD, masters and degree level. And I've been to enough events to know that there's a lot of SMEs and the industry trying to reach out to the SMEs and kind of fill that gap too. And there's two things that I think I've seen. And actually, the industry doesn't have enough information for young people. And it seems to think that the kids don't really know what they're doing and that we need to hang on to this information and do more with it before we pass it on to the next generation. And I think we're kind of up to here with the kids, and I think they're just about to start moving around us and bypassing us if we don't forge some information for them to have. For SMEs, I've been to lots of events where I hear about the industry, me, you, everybody else, talking about how SMEs should be coming to the industry to find out more. And I have a belief, actually, that SMEs are in the first two stages of learning. They're either ignorant, unknown, or they're kind of not ignorant anymore, but they're not really sure how cyber is for them. We haven't contextualised the industry for this group yet. I don't think we've contextualised the industry properly for parents, teachers, the whole strategy, actually, of society. So this is just a couple of the bits and pieces, the fun things that I get to do. I was engaged by somebody who has been running an event for over 15 years. And for the last 10 years, it's been a mix of MOD and government. And for the last 5 years, it's been opened up to just general professionals in the area, within cyber. He came to me. I quite liked the magazine that he was publishing. It was an academic journal, but really sort of space age and about the future. And it gave me, a layman, some language for some of the thought processes that are out there at the moment. And he offered us a special edition of this magazine. The company also run an event, and I said to him, "Can we help you affect the agenda?" He said, "We would love that." When I looked at the agenda, it was mostly male speakers and mostly MOD and government people, sort of CISO and up. People either running their own companies or up. We turned up there. We were there for 2 days. We engaged with lots of the local universities who we had links into. I invited them. We were allowed to have some free stands there, and we ran a rookie track. This was really important for me, actually, because we had 8 opportunities to have these students and young people injected into the audience, which is, I've heard, is kind of worried about the future of the industry, that they don't have the opportunity to see young people coming through. They don't understand the value of apprentices and mentoring. They don't have the time. And because I was able to affect this agenda and get some young people speaking at events like this into the live streams, there was a lot of change in those thought processes. We had our Cyber Centurion event this year at Bletchley Park. One of the team leaders from a team in Gibraltar came back for his 2nd year, and he spoke about how Cyber Centurion had elevated his school locally within Gibraltar, accessed all sorts of industry support and help. He'd gone for tea with the general of the country and all sorts of bits and pieces. But the most important thing for him was that he'd managed to get an autistic boy into the school and into playing the Cyber Centurion games. They came first. They won the competition. And his parents, the parents of this child, had said to the teacher, this was the first time this child had had a chance to be part of a team, to be included. He showed a set of skills. He had friends for the first time. This is a 15-year-old boy. And he's managed to get himself some university offers. And his parents believe that was because of the inclusion of the Cyber Centurion. Autism is on the agenda at the moment in all sorts of different ways, and inclusion is a really good thing. What can we all do? I think we all work day to day. I think we're all really busy, but I think we notice the quiet people. I think we should say something nice to to the girl sitting left of us or to the young lad sitting to the right of us, and just give them some opportunities to do something bigger than their current role, to show them that actually there's a way through, there's a way up, and there's a way in. And I hope that you know that you have these powers to do that. Thank you.